You and I are going to have a conversation later that you won't enjoy.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the Edge of Civility.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, episode 176.
Are you ready, Rev?
Quack.
I thought as much. Isn't it quack bitches now, though?
I'm not so structured.
Ah,
I will not
see.
limit myself to one quack.
Oh, I get it. Ugh. Well, kids, this is a Marvel episode of The Mean Geek, Comics Podcasting on the Edge of Civility. As always, I'm AJ Hunter with you as your Tech Jedi host, and beside me is the Reverend Mad Duck, Bill. I didn't even put your last name out.
Damn Skippy, you didn't.
You know why? Because we don't need it.
Damn Skippy.
Because the Rev is just himself, baby. That's all there is to it.
I quack, therefore I am.
Very good.
See?
See? No limits. No limits!
The word quack can be used for anything. It's like Smurf.
Please don't start using quack like Smurf.
That's quacktastic.
You can go quack yourself.
See? Exactly. Well, no, I'd never use it if nut, you should never replace an obscenity. Like, that's just wrong. Fuck that. Or fuck quack, if you
Quack
will.
off.
See? Again, no. Absolutely not.
Quack-a-mole. Shut it. Everything's been way too busy. There hasn't really been any nerd news except that David and what's-her-face Finch are taking over Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yep. That's the only new thing I've heard this week. Yeah. Can't say I condone it.
Well, I mean, we stopped reading the Azzarello run, so...
Well, in preference to eventually getting trades.
Which we then immediately...
Not because of any lack of quality on Azzarello's part. You know?
No, it was an interesting book, although not captivating. Like, we had our... We wanted to see it in trade and see if we could follow the storyline a little better than month to month.
Yes, we had many expectations of a guy like Azzarello. And
The weird British dude who could beat up gods was a little confusing.
we kind of got what we wanted out of him, but it was... It's going to be better to do it as a unit rather than month to month, I think. As a lot of things we've done.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, certain things, particularly when the month and a half it takes to get back to some of these,
Yes.
you're like, yeah, sure.
So, having established there's nothing else interesting to talk about, we'll jump right in.
Okay.
We're going to jump in with some Captain Motherfucking Marvels, man.
I believe you mean Quackton Marvel.
That'd be a no. This is not fucking Howard the Duck's universe, where that might actually be accurate.
That would probably be exactly how it went. I was trying to figure out exactly how many superheroes Howard the Duck dressed up as during his run the other day, because that's what I do with my free time.
That was something he did?
Oh, yeah. He was Iron Duck. He was the Master of Quack Fu.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that.
He was Doctor Strange at one point. Man Duck. Yeah, that was
Thing. Man-Thing Duck?
No, Man Duck.
So he just dripped... not following what he did then.
It was actually just a one-shot panel where he was like a duck version of Man Thing that was very sad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's what it was.
you weirdo.
What? I mean, these all happened. I think that's everything I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, go research it and give us a dissertation.
Well, I was
next
working on
episode.
it for the trivia questions for
There are trivia questions?
your figures.
What
The
figures?
giveaway.
Oh, that. You really want to do that? For that?
No,
Howard
not
the
now.
Duck
I just brought it up and told the answer.
Howard the Duck trivia for...
I was trying to think of things you couldn't just immediately Google and get the answer.
I see. I don't know why it's got to be trivia know-how. Who cares? Captain Marvel 2 and 3. We weren't making progress on that. We got to go.
I thought Doctor Strange was quite promising.
You would.
He had little mustaches on his belt.
Stop it. Don't want to hear it. That's enough of that shit. All right. I see that look. You want to do more. You're not getting more. Captain Marvel is out in space. She's transporting medical supplies somewhere because the builders have screwed people up so horribly after the Infinity War. And she's flying around with her first mate / house cat, Chewie.
Did you have a hard time not thinking of Power Girl during all these cat sequences?
A little bit. Yeah, because that's the kind of shit, you know.
I mean, there are certain parallels anyway, but
Right.
it definitely...
That's good. I didn't think of that. She comes across a blockade, and it's a bit of a mess because she just wants to deliver stuff, and they're giving her all this rough time. You're not allowed in, blah, blah, blah. You know, blockade-y type shit. So she eventually gets in a fight, and the Guardians of the Galaxy show up, and they team up. Yay! Rocket Raccoon thinks that her cat is a flurkin.
That was
whatever the
pretty
fuck
awesome.
a flurkin is. But apparently it lays eggs, and it's a horrible, horrible being.
I have no idea how he managed to make Rocket Raccoon this awesome. Like, I own the original Rocket Raccoon miniseries. I don't have the first appearance in the Hulk, I'll say that much, but I do have the 4-issue Mignola Rocket Raccoon miniseries. And it was fun. I enjoyed it immensely, even before I became a Mignola freak. But, dude, he was never this much fun. He was kind of like, you know, like the most cookie-cutter generic hero, just in raccoon form.
Yeah, I would suppose so. I didn't actually read it myself. But
He was a raccoon Flash Gordon.
really, a raccoon Flash Gordon. Mm-hmm.
Raccoon Gordon.
So,
Or Flash Raccoon.
wow, you're killing me with this. Stop it. What are you doing? You're not helping me.
He had a scientist sidekick, and he kept saving a princess girl. Like, you know, I'm telling you, it was a raccoon. It was Flash Raccoon.
I don't need Flash raccoons. Flashing raccoons? Raccoons that flash.
What?
That are Flash.
That's a slightly
That
different.
have a flash.
No, that's
What?
so-
No.
not raccoons with cameras. What the hell?
It's dumb. I'm trying. It's not. You give me nothing here. What happens?
So the Guardians show up, but they hang out for a bit, and
Turns out she has a stowaway.
or a passenger. I did not remember. She talked about it being her cargo, so it was somewhat confusing.
Ah, yeah, that's
This
right.
person Tick that she's bringing home.
Yeah,
Because we all want Ticks to go away, really.
pretty much.
But while Space Hog, or whatever the hell the generic hero name of the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy is,
Star-Lord? Space Hog? This is what you got?
what? I mean, come on. Star-Lord is better than Space
It
Hog?
really isn't better than Space Hog. It's a little better than Space Hog. It's not something I would name a character either way.
And of course, Tick has a problem with Jason of Spartan X, because everyone on Earth and every other planet hates that dude.
Because he's a tool bag.
He is a tool bag.
He's always got these plots going on. He thinks he's more important than everybody else.
So there's the inevitable, let's try to kill Space Hog,
Star-Lord.
and things go awry, and Space Hog has to explain that, you know what, he'd probably not mind, like, you're kind of an idiot, we don't get along.
But the impression I got out of this was that Kelly Sue DeConnick has finally figured out what she wants to do with this character and how to do it.
You know, I think my main takeaway, because this is followed by, and it's interesting, the Guardians are barely there, like one issue and goodbye, like that never
Right.
happens.
Fine by me.
And then we have the return to the Poison Planet. Tick gets introduced. There are Spartans on there. Some incredibly tall basketball playing Yoda chick is hanging out. You have to, like, Captain Marvel takes a huge dressing down. Like, oh, you come to help us. Did you bring supplies? Doctors?
No.
No, I just showed
Food.
up. Oh, good. Some random chick from Earth showed up, and she's going to save us all. And she will. So fuck you, Frog Lady. But in the meantime, it's a totally valid point. A little bit of pretension on your part there, Captain Suckass.
A little bit of human privilege there.
But my main takeaway is that Kelly Sue DeConnick really just seemed overnight to develop a much better sense of humor about the character.
Yes.
between the flying cat, and I love the fact that Chewie was in a cat carrier in the middle of the spaceship.
Well, Chewie kept laying on the controls. So what's she going to do? You know, you can't have a cat floating around at light speed.
Well, I believe Alien proved with Jones that you absolutely can.
Well, no, they weren't really... Never mind. I could make a few statements about aliens at this point, and it's just not going to happen, because that is when Uber Nerd shows up.
Uber Nerd. Who doesn't love a good Uber Nerd?
Many people.
But, yes, no, I think Kelly Sue DeConnick has been a raved-about writer for a while now, and I really am enjoying this book.
What?
What's that?
What'd you say?
I didn't hear what you said.
You weren't supposed to.
Of course. Well, that would, because we're recording, so that
What?
totally makes sense that you would just say things.
I don't care if you heard it. The mic picked it up. I don't give a shit.
Mike's not here.
Stop. The microphone.
Oh. I thought his last name was different.
You're such a tool bag.
No, that's
There's
Jason.
a better
Spartan
sense
X.
of humor.
No, I think that this is a fun book. It is easy to find right now. Jump right on it and Captain Marvel it up.
Yeah, a lot better than the time travel crap from the last series.
Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe if we went back and continued, because the similar female space sky pirates storyline in Atomic Robo ended up being pretty damn good when we read the whole thing. So,
Yeah, but I got to find them in the dollar box. I ain't got time.
no, absolutely, it's not something I'd run out. But if this continues to improve, I would go back and reread as a group.
No, yeah, I can see that. So, we're doubling up a lot this month. So, here comes Amazing Spider-Man #1, Volume 2, and #2. So, holy crap! These are what a huge book with how many stories going on? Like 7 stories in this freaking book.
Now, I actually got myself a copy. Well, you got me a copy of this. Let's put, the
Well,
correct
I figured
English.
you'd want the dumb thing.
Well, you know what? It's a #1 Dan Slott, Ramos, Spider-Man. Peter Parker's back. I was excited. So it was fun. But yeah, I kind of wanted the full storyline and not 32 vignettes of other books that I'm never going to read.
Well, I mean, this is pretty complete as it is. I mean, you read the last one.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm just saying, they really nail the colorist and the inker and the styling of the art on Ramos is great. Like, it looks really good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want the full story of this. And the White Rabbit shows up again to drive you nuts.
What a crap villain.
And better than Panda Mania.
Yeah, and certainly better than Hippopotamia or whatever the fuck his name is.
No, it's a straight hippo. And then, of course, you had Gypsy Moth or
Who is now
Skane.
Skane, yes, that's right.
Skane.
They're out there, they're trying to steal some Fabergé eggs because you can't have a themed villain without a themed crime.
I love the White Rabbit, man. It's such an awesome, oh, hi, I'm a rich chick who's going to be a theme villain, so I'm just going to dress up like a character from my favorite book and attack you with, razor carrots.
Razor carrots. What did I miss that Spidey had to show up in...
he shows up in his costume, and Skane dissolves it.
Oh,
so
that's right.
He's got to create a...
he's got to create what is essentially a pair of tighty whities from his webbing,
so,
which couldn't possibly have been remotely comfortable.
I have to assume there's some pretty severe chafing involved there. But it does make suddenly the classic 80s underoos fashionable again. Spidey underwear has reappeared.
Yeah, but now it's going to have like a web motif to it. It's not even going to...
I don't think anyone's buying...
not even going to be red.
Web motif Spidey underwear.
Totally weird. What?
Dude, you're filthy.
You brought up the underoos. I just ran with it.
I'm sure you've run with many an underoo.
Ew.
Exactly.
Stop that. Jesus. He ends the fight because he's Spider-Man. It's his fucking book. And he gets bitched at by Jay again, which is just going to keep happening.
Well, you know what? You knew that everything, Spider-Man showing up. He's now a doctor.
Right.
He's now owns his own company.
Right.
He's engaged to a tiny midget genius who's a phenomenal cook.
And he didn't even know that.
Yeah. So he's trying to rebuild a life that's actually way better than the one he left it. And being Peter Parker, he's of course going to fuck it up. So fighting crime in fake underwear that he can't actually, that no longer dissolves because they changed the formula. That's like Peter Parker 101. Like, are things going well? You can't use your penis for the next 13 years. Enjoy your new webbing. Hope you didn't like your ass crack.
Ew, man, no.
And Franco goes in where the others have been.
So, having resigned previous volume, whatever, I don't even know what to call it anymore. J. Jonah Jameson is just sitting, having a scotch, watching his ass get lambasted on the TV, and he's just so mad.
I'll go back to the newspaper. They love me at the newspaper.
They're not going to take his ass back.
J. Jonah Jameson is out of sorts. It's hard to be a crap mayor and find other work.
Pete goes, they cut again, and Pete's got to eat shit from fucking Sajani about all the Spider-Man stuff, and he's like, well, he's my pal, man. I mean, I'll get rid of it, I guess. No more Spidey stuff. Which amused me.
No, it was a lot of fun in the book. My only problem is like I'm like, oh, this is a giant book, and not only is there an entire issue of another comic that I did not want, there's also a lot of filler stories. Like, I'm sorry, like Spidey going to find Kane to find out that he's a superhero and teamed up with the New Warriors. I don't care.
Yeah, totally don't give a shit about that.
Spider 2099, fine. They used Miles well, but I ain't reading it.
I didn't read it at all. I'm sorry that you took it upon yourself to not skip something that you should have known I would have skipped.
I never skip anything. You know this. The Black Cat becoming a villain, that part was kind of interesting.
An actual villain, because now she has a revenge motive going on.
How long will that last? Like, are they going to totally turn the Black Cat villainous, or will this be a short?
There's a lot of heel turns that just don't last. Now, even though, if we read further on, things take a turn, because you ain't read them yet, and I won't tell you. Things take a turn, but she might just stay villain out of sheer spite.
Well, I mean, it's not like they were doing anything with her anywhere else, so why not?
They really weren't. But I like the Electro
looking
one.
nice and villainous.
That was a pretty good story. I like the Electro story.
Burning up a supervillain groupie.
This thing with the...
Oh, yeah, the weird vignette. Like, there's a couple things. The whole spider biting a second person, I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's just... You're retrograding now.
And
that's just not... They're retconning at that point. It's just... Come on, fellas.
Well, everybody does that. It's just been done... Like, I remember the Tangled Web book, the first 3 issues that Ennis did, where the guy swallowed the spider, and then the spider consumed his body and kept eating people.
I totally don't remember that at all. I remember the Tangled Web with the Rhino getting smart. I don't remember that one.
That's a great one.
It really is. Flowers for Rhino.
My favorite, though, is the one where Rhino and Grizzly end up dating each other by accident.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great book.
Wasn't it, though?
Or the psychoanalysis of J. Jonah Jameson. Kids, if you have not read Tangled Web, it was just these bizarre Spider-Man stories, and they were awesome.
Yeah, just the most totally twacked out ones you could possibly find, man. They just pretty much said, fellas, it's your arc. Come back when the lights come on.
Yeah. Rhino typing to cover himself with honey for Grizzly was one of the funniest damn things.
Ew.
Yeah.
Had to remind me of that part, didn't it? But it all just continues in 2. All those plot threads we just talked about just develop a little further in 2.
Well,
so there's really no point in saying that there's a difference between 1 and 2.
I liked how the Avengers took him back in. They're like, go.
Yeah,
Peter,
yeah, you are you now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're annoying. Duly noted. Yeah. Jessica Jones being like, listen to him. He's funny, and I hate him. It's obviously Peter Man.
Scans you guys did, and you couldn't figure it out.
And the part where he had to explain why he was wearing trousers because he couldn't figure out how to get his spider web underwear off, and his trousers were stuck to them. And
Totally. If that didn't convince anybody.
that doesn't happen to anyone. Daredevil's never had to deal with that. That's entirely Spider-Man. You're stuck in your own pants. Yes, you're Spider-Man. Oh, I almost forgot. The single greatest thing in the first issue was when he realizes that he's being live tweeted and blogged about. He's like, Johnny Storm will see this.
And then Mary Jane sees it and she's just like, idiot. That did amuse me. She's just playing around on the computer. As soon as she sees that, she just closes the lid. Idiot. So the fun continues. I mean, eventually we're going to hit a brick wall here, but the fun continues in Amazing X-Men number 7, which was what? It's right here.
No, I'm trying. Does the fun continue per se?
I enjoy. Bobby amused me terribly with this.
The interaction between Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar was fun. The weird alien baby Spider-Man guarding a college mascot
in exchange for the alien baby. All they wanted to do was get some soda and ice and some beer. And they had this wild, wacky adventure with the alien baby who becomes addicted to sucrose and red dye number 5. And finally is drawn away from Earth by the aliens coming to get him and somebody chucking a bag of chips their way and he chases after.
No,
it was totally a comedy of errors.
It was very funny.
It was a complete comedy of errors.
It was a great little one-shot. I did find it amusing. It made a lot more sense in the Spider-Man book, though, than as the 6th issue of a brand new series.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, do you really need another X-Men book to be all deep and heavy constantly?
No, fair enough, but I just feel like they just... No, I guess this is
the
7.
First arc, this is number 7. So the first arc is over. We got time to goof off a little bit before the next bit of heavy-duty X-Men horse shit comes down
fair
the
enough.
pike.
I see your point. It came out of really left field. Like, you just had the Mystique and... What's the father's name? Despair?
Azazel.
Azazel. Some dumbass semi-deep name.
Yeah.
But you just had that following it up, and then suddenly there's this complete randomness without Nightcrawler, which I guess is a good thing to establish.
Which is fine, because he got his own fucking book now.
Right.
Which bores me to tears. So let's go take this
And we didn't
book.
even read the first one. We just saw the second one and bored you to tears.
Yeah.
Usually the
I
first
wasn't
one's
happy with neither. So.
sweet.
Yeah, you got a lot to look forward to in your life.
So rarely.
And, of course, that brick wall does, in fact, come with Uncanny 21.
Which one was Uncanny?
Uncanny 21.
Oh, the Piccolo, right?
I don't know where that left off, but now I've got a lot of editing to do. It just decided, you know what, I'm going to stop.
Go back and check. See if we have to re-talk about anything.
You know what, I'll just cut it right. That's all. Bendis appalls us once again with all new X-Men number 27.
I love Bendis on X-Men, and there's some really cool things in this, but this time travel storyline is so fucking confusing.
Yeah, and it's gone on way too long, and I don't need to hear about how Charles became a baby daddy
With Mystique.
With Mystique, and she takes on a persona in the hospital, and she doesn't want. Are you sure that's Mystique?
Yeah, because the other son is obviously Mystique.
Because she just looks like a regular housewife.
Yes, but then at the end, if you look, after she hands the baby over, she turns blue and starts crying, saying, "Sorry, Charles, I couldn't handle it."
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
does this make this the version of Nightcrawler? Like, I don't understand any of this. It's an alternate timeline, future. Everybody hates everybody. Jean Grey. I did really enjoy.
It stems from Apocalypse.
Yeah, which of course sucks. Then
Yeah.
I did totally enjoy the moment where Jean Grey's like, "Look, if this is how annoying time travel is, I totally get why you're all annoyed that we're here." And then Frost is like, "Okay, now you're okay," because yeah. And then later on punches her in the face,
Which was somewhat satisfying and also kind of shocking. because Jeannie was getting a little irritating there. She was just doing what she wanted. She was just poking into people's brains at a whim.
You know what? You can't touch enough loose brains and not get in trouble.
Ew. I don't even know what that...
It's a uniform rule.
Ugh. I don't even like the way that sounds.
The more brains that you go into, the worse things get for people. Kids, stay out of other people's brains.
You know what that sounds like? Nothing you want to deal with. I could have said something. I restrained.
Good for you.
I stepped back from the edge, which doesn't normally happen for me. So
that's us, kids. The Mean Geek, brain free since 2013.
2009.
We had a brain back then.
We did?
I like to assume.
I don't think so, dude.
Probably not.
So Cyclops #1. It didn't necessarily bore me, but I couldn't be... I was bored.
You hate Starjammers.
I hate Starjammers. I'm not a particular fan of
Cyclops.
Cyclops himself.
Ever. Even back when X-Men were cool, that was not your dude.
So him hanging around with Corsair as a kid with a second shot at daddy occurs to me to be blah.
I felt like the main thing for me was that Rucka wrote this, and two things really stuck out. One was how well he knew the characters, like Hepzibah and Chad. And...
No, that's true. He did come across like he had either had an in-depth knowledge of them, which is, he's got access to everything in the universe.
Plus he's obviously a comic fan.
And he seemed like he actually gave a shit about those particular characters, which just shows his dedication as a professional, because as a totally unprofessional, I can't be buggered with them.
You do hate the Starjammers. But the other thing was the light touch and the father-son moments that Rucka has in this were so unexpected.
Yeah.
There's there's very much like almost a sweet tone to this book.
Yeah.
Like, you're Greg Rucka, right? Like, somebody should get shot in the face soon. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Also, I'd like to point out that in the entirety of the inept space races that Marvel has at its disposal, the Badoon.
The Badoon. Why do they keep bringing... In the last year, I've read the word Badoon about 50 more times than I should ever have to.
They are the space suckbutts.
The Badoon are the space suckbutts.
The only thing worse than them is the damn Toadmen. And they're not even real aliens. They're midgets dressed up as aliens that mess with She-Hulk and Hulk for once.
Toadmen burn. Toadmen.
Do your research, kids.
Look it up. You'll enjoy it. But no, you're right on those scores, but young Cyclops himself is not a compelling character to me yet.
You know what? I like the fact that they're doing interesting things with him outside of the X-Men book, and I don't want to read this. I don't care about Cyclops enough. I don't loathe the Starjammers. Like, it would be hard to hate the Starjammers as much as you do. Like, you'd have to, work at it. Like, you killed my parents, Starjammers. And they didn't. I can't, I can't say that with a straight face.
My parents are dead, Corsair.
My name is Reverend Mad Dog. You killed my parents with your shitty comic book. Prepare to be mocked unmercifully on a podcast that no one listens to. Try that with a straight face, Mandy Patinkin. See how that shit works out for you. Fuck no.
And who expected a Mandy Patinkin reference tonight?
No one expects a Mandy. I can't lie. I stole that. Commodore Wife hit me with a "no one expects" line earlier, so I totally stole that. I freely admit it.
That's pretty funny.
Speaking of which, wife, beer.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I really didn't think there was a chance in hell that would work, but I had to know. Like, what if it did and I never tried?
She just got Italian on your ass.
I know. But what if I said that and she immediately got one, and if I never tried, I'd never know. You have to know.
You'd still be wrong.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You giant jackass.
I had to know. Scientific curiosity got the better of me.
Throw a please in there and a little lower tone.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't know the other thing would work.
Whatever. The thing, you know what else didn't work? Is all the beating Black Widow had to take in number 6.
I don't mind the beating so much. It's a horrible exposition.
holy crap, they just kept going. It was like 7 pages of just, you're going to tell us, I'm not going to tell you, but, you know, the difference between blah, blah, blah is a really dangerous thing, and I kick ass, and just yappity, yap throughout the book. Dude.
Yeah, the yappity is killing me. This is like the whiniest comic book out there right now. And I like aspects of it, but it needs to go somewhere else, like, soon.
Yes.
On the other hand, though, I'm going to totally disagree with you on the beating thing, and here's why.
Yeah.
Let's look for a moment at the role of the goon in the comic book. Here we have 3 guys with limited job prospects
Yeah.
put in a room with a freaking spy assassin Avenger and told, beat her till she freaking gives up. Like, she even points out, like, this is not anger, this is desperation. Because they're scared shitless. You know why? Because she's a fucking hitman super Avenger. And they know what's going to happen, and it does. She's going to kick the freaking chair out. She's going to fucking kick one of them in the face, break a neck, shoot somebody in the forehead, or kick somebody's gun so it shoots someone out. Like literally,
It's all true.
you know, it's like if you and I got put in a room, they're like, go beat the hell out of the Hulk, get his information. Like, what are you, out of your mind?
They're like, I just want a beer.
Like, we have about 7 seconds to live. Like, my only, like, grab that crowbar. Like, maybe we kill him immediately, we won't die. But you didn't get the information. Yeah, but we didn't die, so fuck you. Like, yeah, you can shoot us, but, you know, I'm not going to have my neck broken by some Russian super bitch. So, from the goon standpoint, like, this was well played. Like, just keep whacking her, Bob. Don't let up. Bob, and literally, as soon as he starts to hyperventilate, he's like, this is going to take a crack. Shit. Bob's dead. Run. We're locked in a room with her. But meanwhile, and then we immediately go to the half-metal monk who still got his own nutsack. Like, how? I was like, God, what is happening? And the Damon Dran thing. And then...
What a name. What a crap name.
That is nothing compared to the freaking poison cheeseburger.
Yeah, the cheeseburger that releases green poison gas out of nowhere.
It's not even... Like, it's a cheeseburger. Put poison in it, have him bite it.
Yeah,
it's got to be a gas-wielding cheeseburger.
Well, you know, the thing about that is, as effective as poison can be, gas usually is the preferred method in spy books, in spy movies. There's gases everywhere. They're constant. How many times did Bond get put out with gases?
Yeah, but everyone who actually dies gets poisoned with poison.
Well, to be sure, this was acid gas poison.
Now, you're not the Bond fanatic that I am, but you've seen them all.
Yeah.
You know them quite well. Name one time somebody got gassed to death.
Gas to death.
Yeah, not
No,
gas to near death.
Well, did I say it as a murder weapon? All I said was people are using gas in spy
I'm just
books
saying,
all the time.
all you got to do is, instead of pickle, put a slice of freaking African frog on there and watch them just curl up and turn blue.
What? Are African frogs poisonous?
Yeah, where do you think all the poison frogs come from?
South America.
Oh, never mind. South American frog, then. Look, I don't know geographical frog locations. I don't feel bad about that. I feel a little bad about
That's what you get for being a literary frog. A literary nerd.
First off, I'm a duck, bitch.
As a
Get your
kid.
shit right.
Rather than a science nerd as a kid.
If I'm gonna be a mythic animal in podcast
a
world,
literary frog.
a literary frog. What is wrong with you?
So many things. But, of course she ends up victorious, but then she has to go talk to Hawkeye because things.
No, she didn't talk. Maria Hill.
Yeah.
She sees Hawkeye and doesn't talk to him. She's having lunch with her weird accountant buddy thing.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Hawkeye does
he gets
make
hit
it
by a car, that's
Yeah.
right.
Which I'm sure happens in actual Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'll bet we can nail down exactly what page that is. And then she goes to the not home with the not cat.
Well, now it is the cat because she found out she can't be alone. So her accountant/murder pimp and her
Murder pimp.
and her fake.
It's true.
Yeah, and her fake cat are her new reliable sort of. Like, I'm sorry, Natasha, you're still making terrible choices in life.
All right, so Captain America 20. I was having a good time with this book until 3/4 of this particular issue were dedicated to an allusion to break Cap's spirit.
I actually totally enjoyed that because it was so over the top. You're like, dude, this is the fake.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's like,
halfway through the second page, I'm like, they're fucking with him.
Yeah, it was obviously fake from the get-go, but like they really nail it home. When, here's your lost fiance and dead son from your alternative Zolaverse vacation / horror day.
Really? You get it all together? Or what are you going to throw Peg in there too?
And only Captain America looks at the situation like, oh, it's a psychic mind bubble trap. I have to kill myself. The dream to wake up in real life. No, I'd be sitting there like, okay, I know this is fake, but now I don't know what the hell to do. Like, y'all aren't real.
That's why he's Captain Motherfucking America.
Right? So there's some great things. The Iron Nail being a giant cockroach annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, that's kind of yuck. And those stupid tentacle spine tipped things coming out of his chest. That's a design flaw in this character that I just find to be utterly deficient.
But, there's some awesome moments too. Like Doc Minder Bubble when he's like, oh, you woke up.
Minder?
Yeah, do what I tell you, or a bunch of more. It just has S.H.I.E.L.D. agents diving off the friggin' Gungnir. Like, woo! I love tofu! Dude, what the hell are you fantasizing that you're jumping off a plane wing thinking about tofu? Like, how screwed up are you? You were probably a terrible agent.
LSD is a weapon. I mean...
And then when Cap goes nuts on some people and Minder Bubble's pipe gets freaking bubbled, so to speak.
Why do you keep saying Minder?
Because he's half doctor, Minder Binder. Mind bender. I've heard. But no, some cool moments. But and then, as I'm sitting there, like I'm kind of enjoying this. It's a little weird, but I kind of like it. And no Zola. Jet Black is just in a dream sequence. I can live with that. Jet Black. I'm still angry with you. Still to this day. And then suddenly, it turns into a giant robot. S.H.I.E.L.D. built a mecha transformer.
Yeah.
And that's their super secret weapon. They're like, oh, this is too dangerous. We have to lock it away.
I totally didn't need it.
I assume that Nick Fury locked it away because he was totally embarrassed. He's like, we spent money on a giant friggin' ship that flies through the sky and turns into a robot with a sword.
100% irritated and
he's like, are you
humiliated that we did such a thing.
And does Tony Stark know about this? No, then lock it in a fucking cupboard somewhere. Like, seriously. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. Never happened. Put guards on it. Take your robot shit. By the way, you're seriously fucking fired. Like, you are so fired. You may be the worst S.H.I.E.L.D. agent of all time. And I've seen double agents. I've seen Patton Oswalt. Like, no, you're the worst. You built a giant, ridiculously expensive ship robot thing. What do you think? Like, you wait, Godzilla. We don't have the license to fucking Godzilla anymore. And even when we did, we didn't fight it with a giant fucking ship thing. Actually, this might be from that.
Oh no!
I wonder. Oh my god! If this is if he's the greatest writer of all time, if he found a way to bring that shit back, like it's been locked away for years, it turns into a robot. This might be from the S.H.I.E.L.D. ship that used to fight fucking Godzilla in the Marvel Godzilla book.
Oh my!
Holy
God.
crap! Now I'm totally curious.
If you make me go get issues of Godzilla,
I can't believe you don't have them.
Yeah. Of course I don't have them. What are you talking about?
Dude, I got a Marvel Battlestar Galactica. Signed by Walt Simonson.
Because
that's how I roll.
Walt Simonson. You had no... You cannot tell me that if it was Bill Mantlo and Ron Friends writing that...
Oh, yeah, because I own no Bill Mantlo. That seems like...
And Ron Friends.
All right.
You cannot tell me you'd pick that up for any fucking purpose.
I can't rule it out, and we both know it, but not intentionally.
You're lying now.
It's like, I got to complete my Mantlo run on Battlestar Galactica. No, probably not not a statement coming out of my mouth. But, yeah, God, if this is from that, dude... I've just created this giant Godzilla conspiracy theory based on nothing other than why is there a giant flying ship?
I'll put this on Twitter tomorrow and see what they think. How about that?
Terrifying.
Yes. So, you almost done with Cap and your conspiracy theories?
I never rule out a good conspiracy theory.
You're a lunatic.
That's possible.
A quacking lunatic. God damn. So, Winter Soldier, The Bitter March, Part 4. Dude, they're finally off the goddamn train.
I love the train. Like, this went from awesome spy story to huge epic fight scene.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It hasn't stopped fighting for an issue and a half, 2 issues and a half, something like that.
Now, we have, and I understand it's a comic book, and obviously the Winter Soldier is a hero and all, but the weird, like, oh, Cap wouldn't like this psychic moment, I didn't love that.
Well, there was, I mean, how else was he going to get through what Drain was doing?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I just, I preferred the first 3 issues where the Winter Soldier was the antagonist.
Yeah.
But the Hydra Drain guy, I could not stand that dude. The whole town committing suicide because they're all guilty.
No, that was terrible. I see no point in that character whatsoever. They could have had a perfectly decent spy story going there. They got Cold War, everything you could possibly need. I mean, they got devices, they got gadgets, they got people to fight, they got Nazi rocket scientists and all this horseshit. And then they bring in this guy. I'm going to make you feel so bad about yourself.
Well, he was partnered with Sparky John, so...
Yeah, which... Dude, what are you doing with these names, man? Sparky John.
However...
But you know
what really took me out of it? And I love the book. I think it's awesome. I think The Winter Soldier was a fun book to begin with, but this like 60s take on it has been phenomenal. But didn't this guy get shot in the chest like 3 times? He's like climbing mountains and punching people in the face. It's like, dude, you need to lie down and hope that you don't die on a regular basis.
Well, that's his bulletproof vest, man. Come on, it's just got...
Except he's still bleeding out here.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's sitting there punching the drain in the face like 32 times. I'm like, dude, you can like have a cup of weak tea and then you're going to hyperventilate for about 35 minutes. Like, that's what you're capable of. I don't care about your shield training. Like, just nap.
Weak tea.
Like, swinging, grappling hook off trains, holding beautiful scientists. I mean, James Bond couldn't do that shit with 3 bullets in his chest. And you know how I know this? Because of all the dumb shit they've done to him, they've never given 3 bullets to his chest. Because that shit hurts. I do not speak from experience.
I should hope not. Yeah, and that's our take on that. So in fucking She-Hulk 4, I'm such a fan of this book. Doom has taken away Kristoff, Jen's client, because it's like, I want my son. Oh, Dad, come on. So she's just pissy about this for panels and panels and panels. She goes to see Matt Murdock about it in San Francisco, and he's just like, watch this acrobatic thing while I tell you about the law.
I enjoyed the Jen Daredevil superhero lawyer conversation. That was a lot of fun.
That was pretty cool.
I was actually almost disappointed that the Kristoff was a 2-part. I understood it, but it would have been so cool if they were just like, oh, and no, you're back with Doom. You didn't win, Jen. Deal with it. But no, she goes off
well, she can't deal with it.
which is exactly the point they make. So that was neat. But it would have been hysterical. It's like, oh, and the Latverian coin's not only not working out, but actually getting you arrested.
That did amuse me as well. But she gets so pissy about it all. She's just going to go ahead and rescue Kristoff to begin with by infiltrating Latveria, going to Doomstadt, and just ripping up Doombots left and right until she comes up against a kaiju-sized Doombot.
No, that was pretty awesome. However, the one thing that I did not like, and it wasn't like a major problem or anything, it was just, he doesn't actually want to escape Doom. He wants you to respect his choices. It's like, dude, be the lawyer. Like, the weird psychic read on the situation that's been entirely accurate.
Kind of want to wreck this gigantic Doom, but do not wreck this gigantic Doom.
That was hysterical.
And then she gets home and she's got to decide about what to do with this blue case file, which is all kinds of mystery.
Dun 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 dun. No, the book is a lot of fun.
I'm so glad we can say that there's been 5 fun books in this pile.
Dude, Marvel has the Marvel books coming out right now are pretty goddamn good. And following along that line
is Iron Man 25, Rings of the Mandarin, Chapter 3. Wow, he's still in Svartalfheim, except now he's got this gigantic, multi-bladed, cold iron suit where the motherfucker, the elves can't even touch his ass without going, ah! Mommy! So, there's a lot of fight. There's a lot of kicking ass. There's a lot of sparks. See, there's a lot of this on this page. There's lots of sparks.
No, I cannot believe how well Malekith versus Iron Man ends up being.
That was really good.
And the use of iron. I did have a huge logic moment where it's like when Malekith uses magic to change the armor into gold, and then Iron Man's like, no, that was a hologram. Like, really? You just magically changed the holograms armor?
Yeah, so what? That one elf girl burned psychosomatically?
But there's some awesomeness throughout this. Like, it's worked really well. Iron Man is collecting rings. Malekith is collecting dick moves. But the ending was a little confusing with the sudden appearance of...
A teeny bit.
So I can't wait to see the next one, see what gets cleared up. But so far, I cannot believe how well... I like Gillen, and I cannot believe how well he's doing Iron Man. Like, holy gods. And he's taking the strangest shit and doing it. Like, Death's Head, Malekith, Red Peril, Stark's brother, who's not actually related because Stark was a dad. Like, the insane shit that's happened in 24 issues.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, you should hate all of this. Oh, I'm not actually.
Should?
Think about it for a second. He's gone to space, hung out with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
He met Death's Head.
Yeah.
From Marvel UK.
Yeah, but it was short. He didn't have much involvement with that.
Bear with me. Like, the Mandarin's rings are psychic, and a reporter turns into Red Peril and Red Menace and Red Mascara, whatever the fuck that he was calling herself every other issue. There's Mandarin Island. There's... like, he's got a twin brother and he's adopted. Theoretically, you should hate all of this.
Every last panel of it.
Yeah. The villain of the first big story arc was a Rigelian recorder.
Which is a different turn, which is fine.
No, it's all coming together awesomely, but when you look at the parts, you're like, what the fuck?
It does seem sketchy at best. It, as they say, the devil is in the details.
It's like opening a Volkswagen, and you're like, dude, you shouldn't even run. Like, what the hell is this? How did you do this? What, are you a magic car? What the hell?
Magic cars. No, there's no magic cars. So, Hulk 3. What is going on in that book?
Well, we missed
I know we
two,
missed two, but the idea is somewhere Hulk has been running around as Hulk, messed up because he's been shot in the head, and he got up and left mid-brain surgery.
Always a bad plan. Every time I've done that, I've regretted it.
How many times have you done that?
I can't recall. I walked out.
Lunatic.
But the weirdness of this and the way they're writing, like, oh wait, you're confused, you're mentally ill, you're smart, you're this, you're that, like his brain bouncing all over the place was both clever and really confusing and odd at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I get it in theory, I'm not sure that practically this is working.
I totally missed why Abomination showed up.
Well, he wants to kill Hulk, but he's a brain-dead, radioactive version of himself. And since when is the Abomination stronger than the Hulk? Never? Ever?
If he catches him on a bad day.
Dude, if he catches him on a bad day, Ben Grimm is stronger than the Hulk. Like, but the Abomination has never been like that. Abomination shows up, they brawl, and eventually Hulk punches him in the face and he falls down. Like this.
Be fair, Hulk has brain damage right now.
Only like 30% of the time, based on this issue.
Well, yeah, that's true too, because he can take commands toward the end, like, here, have a shield.
And let's not forget that Hulk has been an idiot forever, and the Abomination was never particularly challenging.
There's no way that horse lived.
I mean, the Hulk has been I eat rocks dumb, and he's still beating the like. No, I thumped the Abomination. That's what happens.
But I got confused. I gave up. I
want to see where this goes once they deal with it. Like, obviously, he's not going to have brain damage like that. No one's writing a mentally challenged Hulk comic for a long period of time. Like, just politically correct alone would be impossible. So I want to see where the book goes, but I was really liking Indestructible Hulk, and I'm not liking this as much.
Nah, not just yet.
Not willing to be like, dude, stop buying that. But I want the great book that could have been back.
True. All right, so bringing us to Thor 22. The Thor girls are now fighting Galactus because Thor is still out in orbit somewhere. Or is this the issue where he goes and gets the...
He flies off, they don't tell you what.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
He goes to a black hole to pick up some creepy thing he remembers being there.
Oh, I know what that is.
While the...
Meanwhile, Roxanne and Roz are having it out over Broxton with current Thor, who is just making her swoon.
And some troll antics.
Troll antics... They're not really the amusing kind of antics you really want.
No,
in
it's
life.
pretty. As far as antics go, it is pretty
They're not wacky antics.
No, there's no wackiness.
They're antics.
It's shenanigan free.
Shenanigan free antics. That's terrible.
But I can't wait for the big Ulick fight scene. I'm still driving myself insane that Roxanne has Ulick's number.
That's kind of...
And then he turns into
Really?
a Minotaur, and I'm like, what the...
Did we really have to have Minotaur in this thing? Is that what we're going for?
Do you remember when Roxanne was basically just one dude with a Tom Selleck mustache who would just show up and Tony Stark would just hate on him? And all of his plans failed miserably, but it was just a grimacing guy with a mustache at the end of every issue.
Yeah, pretty much.
You blew up all our expensive stuff. Damn you, Tony Stark. Roxanne will be back.
Well,
Now they're freaking super cows.
they're the catch-all evil company for anyone who wants to make a statement about the current economic whatever the fuck.
And they should be. Roxanne is historically, if you go back to 1977 when Roxanne formed, they're a douchebag charter. If you go back and you read the original part of pages, we're douchebags. We hate the world and we love money. That's it, literally it. Signed, the douchebags who formed Roxanne.
Which is, as everyone can tell, I don't think there's any revelation here, but it should be known that they're a takeoff of Exxon. Just saying.
Dude, imagine how fucked up the Roxanne Valdez would have been.
Oh my god, that thing would have spilled something nuclear for fuck's
Dude, we'd
sake.
have freaking mutant seals all over the place.
Pretty much. Mutant seals might be cool, though. They'd fight off fucking... No, listen! They'd fight off fucking great whites instead of just getting chowed down by them. They'd punch out whales. Think about how cool a whale shark mutant seal battle would
Dude,
be.
if you were a seal and you wake up with mutant powers, you go inland. You're like, fuck it, I've been cold and miserable my entire life. Now I'm bringing it back to you people.
Bringing it
I'm
back,
going to
dude.
Miami.
That's
And that
terrible.
soon to fear on the Sci-Fi Network.
Don't say things like that.
Mutant seals versus
Someone
Miami.
will figure that shit out.
I'm writing that screenplay right now.
Let's get the last couple of books out of the way first. But no, what he flew off to get was All Black the Necro Sword, which sounds like it comes out of a fucking Charlton book.
Yeah, or Gary Gygax's closet.
Pretty much. It says it right there. I didn't make that shit up.
I believe you.
Jason Aaron made that shit up.
Is that from something else? I don't remember.
No,
a
that's
Necro
Gore's
sword.
weapon.
Oh, that's right.
Sometimes you read a little too fast.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did not remember Gore's sword name. How dare I?
I did. I just read it myself. Jesus, what are you talking about? I don't know where you coming from with this shit. Silver Surfer 2.
Man, this is some confusing antics. Now, this is antics.
Woof. This is antics. We get a little bit of backstory where Dawn and her twin sister are just trying to do things different, and Dawn wants the rigid, this is the way it goes, and the other one wants to go, I'm going to do what I want because it's fun.
We're twins, so we have to disagree.
What? Isn't that non-traditional? That's right.
Sisters, identical sisters.
But poor Dawn she's been stuck in prison because she's still collateral for Silver Surfer to actually destroy the Queen of Nevers.
Yeah.
Which again sounds like something pulled out of Gary Gygax's half-crisp notebook.
Yeah, no,
It's like, should I put that in? Nah, just call it Tiamat. Whatever.
Yeah, just leave it in the notebook for now. I'll figure out something to do with the name.
The Queen of Nevers is a very strange concept that I can't really...
And she's dying, and all the could-haves and would-have-beens are going to go away with her. I'm like, wait,
Are you serious?
like, if you die, then we can't possibly have things? We can still have things, but we can't possibly have them. Like, she wished upon you. Like, there's some very... Like, it's a very Aldred book. And on the positive side, once again... Mike and Laura Aldred, and I'm sure Dan Slott had no problem with this, but Mike
There's
and
only one D in their name.
Aldred.
Allred.
I never get that right. Always do that. But they write such strong women, but strong, practical women.
Sure.
I mean, you do have a slime mold eating berries so it can vomit acid.
To get out of the prison.
You don't see that every day.
Really disgusting.
But if nothing else, and of course the evil overlord who's pretending to be the villain, victim is actually the villain. But if you don't enjoy the moment where Norrad shows up to save Eve, and Eve's like, "Oh, I'm here to save you," what?
What are you talking about?
Dude, you just got to enjoy a superhero who just goes all like, "I'm totally confused."
I don't mind it when a superhero is confused.
I'm kind of liking this book, I have to say. Slott and the All Reds are a nice combination. The art is fun. I don't understand the Eve thing yet, but I am looking forward to.
Yes, I'll rather enjoy it. Now he gets in a detail that is gonna make older Silver Surfer fans go again, dude. He gets his humanity given back to him, and he's just a bald guy in a suit of armor now. So
yeah, I
that's
didn't
where
totally follow that.
Yeah, that's where the Dawn thing of "I'm coming here to save you" routine comes in, and that's how the book ends. And we love to have a book that ends with a bit of, because it makes you wait, it makes you anticipate, it makes you think, "Wow, what could that be about?" You know, a lot of times there's cliffhangers, but you're like, of course it's fucking cliffhanger. When you talk, yeah, it's the last page of the fucking book. What else were you gonna do?
No, this is a good cliffhanger where I'm like, I want to know what happens next. Like, that's what I'm looking for.
What I want to happen next with Origin 2 is for them to just fuck off. This is number 5.
This is the end.
This is it?
I hope.
Was there any more?
Let's
look at the last page. It says the end. Good. What happened in this book? I don't remember, because this is the one thing that Kieran Gillen's done that has disappointed me so horribly.
Well, you know, Sabretooth doesn't like Wolverine. We determined that Clara is not dead, but she does have a mutant healing factor, and it turns out things don't heal if you leave them on long enough, like acid. Which doesn't make a lick of sense based on all the dumb shit that's happened to Wolverine, but hey.
Yeah. So I guess they go to assault Middlesex's, or Essex's, whatever the fuck his name is, Mr. Sinister's compound.
In which he reveals that it was all Sabretooth's fault, like, but duh.
Like, who didn't know that shit?
So basically, what we determined is that Sabretooth does not like Wolverine, and then Wolverine tries to murder him, at which point the woman that he loves points out, you're actually an animal more than your human aspect sucks more than your animal aspect. He's like, I thought I was the bear. I want to be the wolf, but I'm the bear. I'm a giant mutant monster. It's like, oh, good, pathos on top of everything else. Yeah.
Really, fellas? I mean, because we've never had Wolverine recriminate before.
Yeah. So after 5 issues of this, I've determined that Sabretooth does not like Wolverine. Wolverine does not like Sabretooth. Women like Wolverine. Wolverine likes women, but only for short periods of time before they find out how evil and mad and angry he is. And he wants to be the lone wolf, but he's part bear.
I don't get it. It all seemed a very thrown together, shake and bake kind of fucking storyline.
Yeah, I can't wait for the
did not need to exist.
Origin 3, when he takes up yet another teenage girl under his wing and teaches her how to be a ninja or some shit that I'm like, what the fuck?
Technically, I guess Kitty and Wolverine could be Origin 3. It might redeem the whole Origin concept.
No, because this is all so long past. It'll be some other teenage girl introduced in the mythos. The Kitty, Jubilee. Who else? Like, there's like 3 others.
There's a stack of Jubilee? LCD. No, not
No.
LCD. You don't even remember who LCD is, do you?
Yeah, with Albert.
Very good.
A tiny, adorable robot with a lisp. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I had to say that out loud because it's a real thing, people.
13, 14, 15, 16. So out of 17 books, was really only unhappy with like 3?
I mean, I don't love the Hulk, but it's still solid.
Right.
Origin looks great. I just don't care.
Yep.
And what else bothered you?
Winter Soldier could have been better.
I still love that series overall. I just it lost some of the spy thing in this issue and went a little more superhero-y, which is not what I was hoping for. But still a great read, and I recommend it. So
happens.
yeah, I mean, I dislike half of one. Like, if Origin could have been about somebody else and looked like that, I'd have been all about it.
That's a good point. They should use that as a pull quote on the trade paperback.
Looks great. Sounds like Wolverine.
If Origin could have looked good and been about somebody else, I think we can call it a night. That was a quick episode.
Was it?
That was real fast, man. That's 1 hour exactly right now.
Oh, well then bless you fucker.
Bye-bye.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. Find us on Facebook, Stitcher, Twitter under @TheMeanerGeek. Subscribe to us through RSS.
Or we can be located at our own site, www.themeangeek.com. And most importantly of all, you can find us as a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network.
Email us directly at themeanergeek@gmail.com.
Can I drink now?
You may.